Cooper's leering opponent inched closer, fists raised and ready to strike. "He's moving in for the kill, Coop," Gordy said. Cooper didn't budge. "Come on, you big moron." He tapped the joystick. One more step. The muscled fighter advanced. Swinging the control stick, Cooper drummed the punch and kick buttons on the arcade video game. "Yes!" Gordy thumped Cooper on the back. "Nice move!" Staggering backwards, the hulking villain wobbled and teetered. With a whir of the forward control knob, Cooper smacked the buttons in a memorized sequence. "Say bye-bye, big guy." The stunned champion dropped face down. "How do you do that?" Gordy said, clamping both hands on Cooper's shoulders and giving him a little shake. "You've got all these secret moves and combinations." Wiping slick hands on his cargo shorts, Cooper turned to face his cousin and smiled. "I wish I could do that." Gordy jumped and casually slapped the "Order Here" sign hanging from the ceiling. Cooper glanced up at the swinging sign. "And I wish I could do that." Dozens of finger smudges bordered the bottom edge, but none of them belonged to Cooper. Not that he hadn't tried, when he thought nobody was looking. Gordy brushed past him and tapped the joystick. "Just once I'd like to drop that thug." Cooper looked up at him and smiled. "Drop a quarter in the slot and I'll teach you." Hiroko Yakimoto stood from the table next to them and closed her English book. "It looks like we won't get back to studying anymore tonight. Time for me to go." She slid her books into her backpack and wiped the table with a napkin. "I don't see why you two love playing that stupid old game every time we come here." "Stupid?" Cooper stepped over to the table and picked up his monster shake. "The game is a classic." "Classic waste of time." She smiled slightly and raised one eyebrow. "You're both 13 years old, right?" Cooper clutched at his chest. "Ow, ow, Hiro, that really hurt." "It's nothing but pointless violence." Cooper acted like he couldn't believe what he was hearing. "Pointless?" Lifting the plastic lid off the quart-sized cup, Cooper stirred the chocolate shake. "If you'd ever make the effort to check this out, you'd see this game is all about the forces of good fighting the forces of evil in mortal combat." He pulled the straw out, slid it across his tongue, and stuck it back in the cup. "If you think about it, the Bible is full of this kind of stuff." Hiro tossed her dark braid over one shoulder. "Oh, I get it now. Gee, maybe they should buy a few of these games for church." Gordy snickered and grabbed a handful of fries. Frank Mustacci shuffled around the corner from the ordering counter. Something about the owner of Frankenstein's Diner always made Cooper smile. If Frank grew a white beard to match the hair rimming his balding head, he could get a job as a Santa in any mall. "Don't let these boys give you a hard time, Hiro. And tell your mom she can have her old job back any time she wants. I miss her around here." Hiro smiled and nodded. Sometimes Cooper thought Frank treated Hiro like she was his own granddaughter. "I ever show you this?" Frank held out a worn 4x6 photo with half a dozen tack holes at the top. A glance confirmed exactly what Cooper expected. The picture, taken nearly 2 years ago at Frankenstein's Halloween party. And yes, he had shown it before. Frank stood front and center, wearing his white apron over a cheap Santa suit. Hiro's mom stood to his right, dressed in a traditional Japanese kimono. Hiro stood in front of Frank, swimming in her dad's leather Chicago police jacket, her rich black hair woven into a single braid. Her smile lit up the entire picture, even though it had been the roughest year of her life. Gordy stood to Frank's left. His white blonde hair got washed out by the flash and was way shorter than he wore it now. Cooper stood next to him, hands tucked in his jeans, both of them too cool for costumes. Except for Cooper's darker hair, they could have passed for brothers. Same lean build, same height, dead even, eye to eye. But that was before Gordy's growth spurt. Cooper was still waiting for his, which is why Cooper wouldn't mind so much if that picture accidentally fell into the fryer someday. Frank tried to get a group photo at the last Halloween party. Thankfully, Cooper avoided getting in the picture by being the designated photographer. He didn't want to look like Gordy's little brother. "I love that picture, Frank," Hiro said. "Me too." He slid the picture in his pocket. You kids stay and finish your game.